Right guys, so here's the video that a lot of people, I think, including myself, have been looking for. I think there was another Scottish guy made a video about this a while back on YouTube, but I can't seem to find that video anymore, so I don't know if it's been taken down or what's been happening to it. But anyway, probably for about the last year I've been needing to replace the small inner bearing in my original Tacx Neo. Now I did buy this Neo second hand, don't worry about that stuff on the floor, I'll explain that in a minute. Bought this second hand with I think about 8,000 kilometres on it, and I think I put about another 7 and a bit thousand on it, so it's got about 15,000 kilometres on it. And yeah, it's just been getting worse. Like the grinding, the rough running of it has just been getting to the point where it's just not fun to use. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what you need and how to replace this. It's pretty simple if you're pretty good with a bit of spannering. Got a couple of motorbikes in here, so you know I'm pretty used to the tools myself. But you will need some specialist tools for this. So if your bearing runs like, if your Neo has rough bearings and runs like total shit, then this is the video that you'll need. So there's a few things you're going to need. I'm not going to show you how to strip down the Neo to this point level, because, well, there's no point. There's plenty of videos on how to do that. So obviously, yeah, you need the bearing removal thingamajogger, removal tool. This is not an official one. This is a 3D printed one that I bought from some guy, kind of Stony or something on eBay. So yeah, strip it down, get it to that point. Now, I had a problem with my Neo because this little for here, which is the little, which goes on here, which holds the free hub in place. Mine, the Allen head was rounded, totally shagged. Now I have had this off before to replace the free hub. I put a new one on it about a year ago. And this was a problem back then. I managed to get off and on just, but this time it was so tight on, despite having copper grease in it, as you can see, to stop it from seizing, it was still stuck. So what I had to do is I just had to file down two sides to flatten it, get a spanner on it, and then get it off. I have ordered replacement ones of these from Garmin, so just waiting for those. I'll be able to put this one back on, it'll still work, but it's shagged. So everything's off, stripped down to this point, and then that leaves you with this doofer over here. So I'll move over here. So next piece of equipment you're going to need is one of these. I'll show you the part number, and this is a DT Swiss tool. It's a part number there. Now I managed to buy this on eBay. Now, Neos aren't cheap, and this tool wasn't cheap either, but cheaper than a new Neo, right? So this was about 60 bucks. It's absolutely ridiculous for what it is, but it still makes it a fairly cheap repair. Now that is to remove this, okay? Now that's the lock ring that sits in there, okay? And that's obviously the teeth that your free hub go click, 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 click in. So you need to get that out first before you can get access to the bearing. And obviously that bearing was inside there. And there's another bearing on these, which is that one there. That one's still silky smooth. That one's cool. That's the 6205 RS bearing. This is the 6002 bearing. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this on camera, but try and see if we can. It's rough as shite. It sticks, you spin it and it gets caught and it snags, and yeah, it's just not, the play in it is ridiculous. So yeah, like you can see the movement in that inner race should not move like that. It's hellish. I've replaced plenty of bearings on motorbikes, and this is worse than any bearing I've ever took off a motorbike. Look at the play in that. Anyway, that's like a £3 part. Now, my new bearings haven't arrived, so I've only stripped it down to this point because I wasn't riding it anyway because it was that bad. So I'm waiting for a new one of these arriving, which then will go in there. Okay, getting this out is a bit tricky. This tool fits in it, but there's a bit of play in it. It does work well. I think this is a 24 spline tool. Anyway, it's the only thing that's going to do that job that I've found. Anyway, and yeah, but because you need to take the disc off in order to take that off, of course the disc is then, you've just got to like hold it. I just had it kind of between my legs, put that in, and then you need a what is it, 22 mil spanner on that to then undo it. You'll never do that, I don't think, by hand, or certainly I won't. So just big rubber mallet, whack it as hard as you can, and then it frees up. And then to get the bearing out, you're going to need another special tool, slide hammer. So this is the one I used. I think this is a 15 mil, but this is like a 20 quid eBay job. That goes through the bearing. You tighten that up. Those splines spread out. You see that? And then you slide this up. It stops there, and you just pull it and you just whack it. Keep doing it until the bearing works its way out. You do have to give it quite a lot of force. If you've never taken bearings out before, you're probably like, not hitting it hard enough, but you do need a lot of force to get it out. So that's where we're at. Oh yeah, quite a lot of WD-40 helps. So the next job will be when the bearing arrives, putting the bearing in there. Now I do already have a set of, I think they're called drifts, but with different sizes for hammering bearings back in. So the bearing sits on this inner race down there, so you can't put it in too far because it can only go in so far. So it sits in, that comes up to that groove, and the bottom groove there is where it sits. So you just knock it in until it sits flush. That's it really. So bearing back in, put the lock ring jobber back on, disc back in the Neo, free hub, lube it all up. Bob's your uncle. So anyway, hope this helps. If you've got any questions, let me know, and I might make an update video once it's all back together, just to see how it's running. But yeah, this is yeah, look, see that snagging there, and then it goes, and you can feel that riding. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. So anyway, there you go. There's your 1,000 quid machine, with its weakest component, a £3 bearing. See you later.